Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CEO Lawyer Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only CEO Lawyer, Ali Awad, with my co-host,
Yusuf Kroma.
And today, we have a topic that will be only mentioned here on this podcast and in my upcoming book, which a lot of people have not known about until I just spilled the beans just now. But this chapter, I wanted to bring it up because it's so important. I don't want you to wait until the book gets published and it's out. This topic is the 6 F's to live by. And this specific topic actually was because Yusuf, who's actually reviewing my book and helping me edit it to help us get it published by our specific goal date, Yusuf told me we got to get this topic out on the podcast. So Yusuf, I know you got some questions. Let's get right into it.
So for starters, let's talk about what these 6 F principles are, and then we can get further into dissecting each principle.
Okay, so the 6 F's are the 6 F words. Hold on, that doesn't sound right. The 6 words that start in F. So the 6 F's that I live by. Number 1 is faith. Number 2, family. 3, friends. 4, finances. 5, fitness. And 6, fun. In that order, those are the things that are the most important to me. Faith is the most important, followed by family, followed by friends, followed by my finances, followed by my fitness, followed by friends. Not friends. Fun. The reason I messed that up is because in the fun category, that's where I put the people that aren't your real friends. Yeah. Right? They're the acquaintances. They're the people that are like, hey, you know what, let's go party, let's go waste some time, let's go. Those are the acquaintances. Those are not your real friends. The real friends are further up, right? But yeah, I think faith is the most important thing. It's my guideline, and everything else goes from there.
Okay, so how did you develop these? I'm sorry, bro. This is going to bother me.
Okay. Okay, all right. All right, good. He kept looking at me because I just pulled this hoodie out of the box, Let's just keep that in there. It's okay. We can keep the blooper reel in there. Right. All right, come on. What's the question?
All right, so the first question is, how did you develop these principles? Or even the hierarchy of, faith is on top, then family, friends. How did you develop this system?
It's so weird because I updated my personal Facebook bio many, many years ago, and it just seemed so simple at the time. I literally just wrote it wasn't the 6 F's. It was God, family, business, law, friends. I think that's what I wrote. And it's just and it evolved over time. We're how can I evolve this into something where people can actually remember it? I like the alliteration of having all the 6 F's. Maybe we can figure out different words we don't call them F words. But no, I mean, faith is the most important. And I didn't necessarily want to start it off by saying God as being, number 1, because it might throw some people off.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm Muslim. I believe in God. I believe He's the only God. There's only one entity that we worship, and that Muhammad was His last messenger. But your faith does not just have to be in a religion, nor does it have to be in a monotheistic religion. Your faith has to be in yourself. You have to believe that you're capable of what you're doing. You have to believe that you have the potential to become excellent. And so I think that faith starts with a divine being, for me at least. It starts with a higher power. It starts with a creator. It starts with something bigger than yourself. And then you having the faith and confidence in yourself to fulfill your obligation to this life. So that's why faith is the number 1 thing for me. And, you could say that it's God, or it could be your religion, whatever it is, but faith encompasses all of that.
There's a statement in Arabic that says, "Man a'rafa nafsa qad a'rafa rabbah."
Yeah, that's right.
He who knows himself knows God. So,
that's right.
You're drawing that comparison of believing in yourself first. It's to also believe in God, because you're the creation of God as well.
That's right.
So how do you utilize your faith to then, push you further in life, push you further in business? Then it determines and sort of, dictates your family life and other things. How do you strengthen faith?
So faith is my guideline. The religion is my book, my rule book. It tells me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Anytime I feel off, anytime I feel overly stressed, anytime I feel like I'm not accomplishing what I should be accomplishing, it's usually because I'm off in my faith.
Yeah.
And so there are some very simple rules. 1,500 years ago, the rule book was written. Why do you want to change the rule book? It's already there. And there are scientific proofs and evidence of things that no human being could have known at that time, but a higher power that was making sure that this was written and passed down generation after generation after generation. So if this turned into a discussion about Islam and religion, Muslims are imperfect. Islam is perfect. You know, Islam is perfect, Muslims are not. So I know that my religion is perfect. I know that my faith is perfect. Now, me being a vessel of my faith, whenever I feel off, it's because I'm not following my faith.
Thank you a little bit.
So I look, you know, I'm looking for what's going on. A lot of times, I'm not spending enough time with my wife.
Sure.
I haven't talked to my mom or dad in a while. I just need to, you know, drive up there to Dalton, go up to their house and just chill and have a conversation and have a cup of tea. You know, a lot of times I haven't donated enough. I haven't been to the mosque enough. I'm not waking up and praying on time. I'm not spending enough time with my son. So those are all requirements of your faith, because your family is a requirement. It's your duty. So I know that faith is the most important thing because it encompasses everything else.
Okay, so you have your guideline, you have your parameters, your do's and don'ts. You have a system in place that can tell you when you're, you know, going off track or steering off the straight path. Where does family come into line? I know you talk a great deal about your life prior to being married, the bachelor life, and then getting married, and how that, you know, grew you exponentially. So I want to talk about how family, you know, what does family look like to you? What does family mean to you? And how has, you know, renewing this meaning of family changed your life?
So in our religion, getting married is completing half of your deen, half of your religion. So getting married to the right person is a really big deal.
Sure.
And, you know, I think that when you work on yourself, let's put the religion to the side and the faith to the side. When you work on yourself and you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the right person is going to come along. What happens in a lot of relationships is that people settle for the best thing that they can have right now.
Come on now.
Instead of the best thing for them totally. We just had this conversation on the last podcast.
Sure.
This is, if you only look for the best and you only accept the best, then you're going to get the best. But people get stuck because they settle. You know, well, you don't have to settle. You can actually demand the best every single time. And so I got everything that I wanted in my wife. And then I realized that means that I have to step up to the plate and be the man that she needs me to be, that she wants me to be. So when I got married, I realized that was the best thing that ever happened to me. But it also meant I had to change some of my bad habits. You know, you can't just dip out, you know, and go have lunch, go have dinner with the boys or something, not tell anyone. Like, you actually have to, hey, I'm going to be gone. Is this okay? Do you need anything from me? You know, you have to think about this person all the time. When you go to a gas station, normally you go in there and, you know, refill your coffee or whatever. You got to think about the other person, make sure that they're well fed and well taken care of. You have to think about every decision that you make is going to affect this other person. So I took that first year and a half of marriage to acclimate and to start understanding what it's like to be married, and where every single decision that you make is directly intertwined with that person. And, you know, it's like a good marriage, I think, is not flawless. It doesn't have, it's going to have arguments. It's going to have mistakes. It's going to have fights. It's going to have battles. But if it's based on something bigger than yourselves, it's impenetrable. And so the number one thing I looked for in a wife was faith. I wanted to make sure that she had the same type of mentality when it came to faith and with marriage. It's like, we both know when we signed this deal, you know, there's no refunds. You know, there's no store credit here, baby. We're doing this thing, you know? And so we're going to do it till we die. And that's a big decision, because in our culture, in our society right now, we've gotten so used to throwing things away and replacing them. You know, we don't want to invest in that person. We want that instant gratification. You know, it's normalized to date people and like go out and have all these different relations with them. And really what that is that's like teaching you how to divorce. It's like teaching you how to get rid of someone that you may have had feelings for at some point, but hey, now it's easy to just get rid of them. So family, after June 17th, 2018, when I got married, met my wife, and now after May 8th, 2021, my kid.
Come on, fatherhood.
Yeah, fatherhood, whole different game. But before then, it was really mostly just parents and siblings. Because I have cousins, aunts, uncles, all that other stuff. But for me, the family is just that household right there, people that we grew up with. And that's, if I lost everything else, as long as I have my family, I'm still rich.
It's rich, man. Wow.
Yeah.
How has fatherhood transformed your life?
Bro, like being a dad is the coolest thing ever. So he's just so funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like my kid is funny, and like every time I wake up, he's laughing. I've never met a kid that just gets up and just always laughing. But man, he screams. He poops all over the place. I never thought I would be excited about changing a diaper.
Sure, man.
You know what I mean? But it's like your legacy. You know what I mean? It's like I just want to sit here and chill. But man, I'll tell you one thing that never happened before, not even with my wife. When I'm alone with my son, like if my wife needs to go run to the store, she needs to do something, she takes care of him all the time. So she needs the break whenever she can get it. But when she leaves me with him, I don't take calls. I don't do Zoom. I don't work. I don't read. I don't try to watch TV and not pay. I'm actually involved. Like I genuinely cherish and want to spend as much time as I can.
Yeah.
And that never happened before. I was never that guy. Like I never knew how to just shut off my mind, shut everything out and say, all right, that's it. I'm just going to chill and spend time. And that's like the most fun time ever. Wow. And then I also realized that this kid is going to imitate everything that you do. The way you pick up your phone in the morning and scroll, they memorize it. The way that you pick up that remote, they're paying attention. As soon as you pick up the remote, they're looking at the TV, So I'm realizing that in order to be a good father, I have to discipline myself to change my habits in front of him. So I have to be cognizant of the fact that I don't want him to be on his phone or on the iPad all day. So I got to start putting more books in the house. Oh, yeah. I have to play Quran in the house. We're only going to use Arabic cartoons in the house because I'm not worried about him learning English. Yeah. We're in America. We're going to learn English. I want you to learn Arabic. I want you to learn Spanish. I want you to learn Chinese. I want you to learn Hindi and Urdu and like all the major languages. Those are things that you're going to learn under tutorship and my supervision. But the things that I have to change are my habits around him. So if I build good habits with him, I'm waking him up to go to Fajr every morning like my dad did with us for 15, 20 years. I'm waking him up in the morning to go and exercise. I'm making sure that, we only speak good about other people. Yeah. We don't backbite. We don't speak negatively about the poor and the underserved communities. We spend as much time as we can with our families and, smile and basically every guideline of the faith, which is number one. I think I'll be just fine as a father.
Okay, so let's now move forward to friends. We cover faith, we cover family. How does friends play into your life? I only know you in the role of a CEO.
Yeah.
And even in that is a friendship that you develop with your employees, but in your own time, who you develop personal friendships with, how do you choose friends? How do you lose friends? Like, we're talking about hiring and firing. How do you choose the people that you spend
Yeah, so
time with?
I really don't have that many friends.
Okay, yeah.
Most of the friends that I have are like in their 40s and 50s because I just kind of relate to them a little bit better. But very, very few high school, maybe one or two people that I still talk to from high school, zero from college, a couple from law school, and it's really just people change, throughout your life. There's some people that can stick with the same group of friends from high school throughout their entire lives, and those are the people that they're going to hang out with. I missed that boat. I didn't have those people in my life because I was trying so hard to fit in, man. I wanted to fit in with with my black friends and try to be cool with them. I tried to fit in with my Mexican friends, and that's why I learned Spanish. There weren't really many Arabs and Muslims, and the ones that were there, they were just like super nerdy and geeky, didn't really fit in well. The white kids were just, too rich for my blood, So I didn't really have any high school friends that I could resonate with. So the high school people, there just weren't really any. College, I was spending most of my college days working. I was working in the shop, trying to set up businesses, doing e-commerce. Like that's what I was doing. In law school, started making a couple of friends, but even then, we don't really stick together because I'm also on a different trajectory than most of my law school friends. Yeah. Most of my law school friends did not go and start their own law firm, did not nobody has 40, 50 employees. No one has, a big company and is really trying to expand and market. So even in my law school, if you look at the top 5, 10, 20% in the law school, none of them are even remotely close to what I'm doing. So I don't resonate with them anymore, and we can't have the same conversations. We just don't relate anymore. So the only people that I really relate to are like my brothers. Yeah. Those are my best friends. I do have a couple of other friends that are like people that I can actually have a good time with. Like if I'm going to go fishing and, deep sea fishing, or I'm going to go play some ping pong. Yeah, deep sea fishing is dope.
I'm a fisherman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to do it sometime. Yeah. Maybe we'll do it when we go down to Florida. We'll just go deep sea fishing after we do the content. Yeah. But I'll do, if I'm going to go deep sea fishing, or I'm just going to go hang out and, have hookah at the house with my friends or something. I do have a core group that I hang out with, but it's maybe once a month, Like most of my time almost all of my time is dedicated to my family. Okay. So there are a very small group of friends. And the reason I put friends in there is because these are only the true friends, the people that you can trust your life with. And I do have a couple of those, but not many.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on to finances, talking about the money.
Yeah, money's important, bro.
What does money mean to you?
Money means options. A measure of a man's wealth is a measure of the man's decisions in life. Your bank account is directly attributed to what you decided to do. And so I love it because it's capitalism. You can decide how much you want to make. And there are people that are working 9-to-5 jobs that are still worth millions of dollars because they invested it into the stock market. They put it into mutual funds. It's not about how much you make. It's all about how much you spend. My salary is actually very low. I don't pay myself a lot. I invest everything back into the business. And the way I see it is I want to only survive off of the crumbs. Yeah. But guess what? The crumbs of a massive apple pie are much bigger than the crumbs of that little pocket pie that you get at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So financially, I think money gives you the power to make decisions, gives you the power to buy things, but wealth gives you the power to change things. I'm not concerned about making money anymore. I'm concerned more about changing things now. And so that means that with enough money, with enough resources, with enough friends in high places, like they say, you can get things done. And you can get things done way more easily than you would had you not had it. And so, but my philosophy on money is this. Because I'm good at making money, because money is attracted to me, because I can literally pick up my phone and decide that, you know what, I want to make some sales. I want to create a product that I want to sell to the followers that I have on social media and probably bring in $100,000 by tomorrow if I really wanted to. I have an obligation to do good with that power. Because God gave me the ability to make money so easily, I'm obligated to use that power in a positive manner. It's the same thing with sales. When God gives you the ability to persuade people and to be so powerful in convincing people to do whatever you want them to do, you should only use that power for good.
Don't start. We have a podcast, Superpower of Salesmanship. So.
I didn't know we had a podcast about No, that's a whole topic in and of itself. But sales persuasion is 100% a superpower. If you know how to convince people to do whatever you want them to do, and you make them feel like they're the ones that are winning from doing what you want them to do, this is a superpower. And when I realized that I had that power, I realized I should only do it for good. And so I forced myself into an industry where I could only do good things. And so the legal industry, people genuinely need help. People are genuinely hurt, and they're genuinely being taken advantage of from insurance companies. But if I was doing this same persuasion and same effort into a unethical, illegal business.
So you mean you're not going to go into narcos like we talked about?
Hey, them narcos episodes, man, they get me fired up, But no, that's how I practice my Spanish. Okay. You know what I mean? But no, money's important, bro. Anyone who says it's not, doesn't have enough, and anyone who says money can't buy happiness hasn't given away enough.
Oh, no. Yeah. Beautiful philosophy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about fitness, man. I see them biceps and triceps coming out.
Man, I got these triceratops up under here trying to be a little humble. No, honestly, I've always been kind of a workout gym rat. And it's because I grew up very small. Like I was like 80 pounds soaking wet in middle school. You know, I was 108 pounds freshman year in high school. I was tiny, you know, and it was very difficult for me to put on weight. So, but from like freshman year in high school to like senior year in college, I consistently put on like 5 pounds of muscle every single year. So I spent a good 10 years straight building up my muscle mass and getting more acquainted with the gym and exercising. So now I have this muscle memory. So I can go a year off and not work out at the gym, and then I come back for 30 days, 60 days, and I can get shredded in no time because my muscle fibers remember it. So I think fitness is really important because I have never met a truly successful person that wasn't physically fit.
Cool.
You don't really meet like the really successful people aren't outside smoking cigarettes. You know, and fitness doesn't just mean outside physicality; it also means internal physicality.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so the really successful people don't harm their bodies like that, and they treat their body like a temple, like a vessel to accomplish what it is they need in this life.
As it is.
So fitness, I think, I don't think it's as important as making money. In fact, I think you should make money first and then worry about your fitness. But I've also known people that focus a lot on their fitness and they get to a point where their fitness makes them profitable.
Yeah, sure.
That's also okay, but that's, you know, focusing on your really a higher purpose, like your faith in that you can be a bodybuilder, you can be a fitness guru, right? But I do believe that fitness is closely associated with success.
Okay. Do you have a particular regimen that you could recommend for somebody?
Man, look, I'm not a fitness expert. Like, I don't practice as much as I should, but I will say that it's 2 times a week to maintain, 3 times a week to grow.
Okay.
Pretty much it. So I think it's good to have at least some sort of system in place where you're comfortable working out, and just remember that it takes you just as long to lose something as it does to gain it. So if you're trying to get slim very quickly in 30 days, 60 days, trying to drop some weight, 30 to 60 days is going to be right back. But if you say, I'm going to take a year to get back in shape, and I'm just going to focus on dropping 0.2 pounds per day by having a 800 calorie deficit every single day, and I'm just going to give myself a cheat meal, you know, once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month, then it works. I use the 75 hard program. So every year, at the end of the year, I just do like a detox. It's 75 days straight, work out twice a day. One of them is outside. I drink a gallon of water a day. You know, no tobacco, so no hookah or anything like that. I read 10 pages a day, and I stick to a specific diet.
Oh, wow.
So I do that, the 75 Hard program, which just so happens to be a program that I learned from one of my mentors that I paid to be in his mastermind. So, and now he just, you know, he shares it with everyone. But that's what I do. I just, whenever I feel like I'm coming off a little bit, I force myself into something painful.
Isn't it dope that we have inherently in our faith like the Ramadan, which is like a forced detox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually gain weight though, because you know, you're staying up at night and you're eating, you know what I mean?
That defeats the purpose of
Yeah,
Ramadan.
yeah, but you know, it's like, it's hard, man, because when you work from home, you can sleep in until 10 or 11 and say, all right, I'm going to sleep in, then I'm just going to work until 7 or 8 p.m. But now that it's starting to get earlier, this upcoming generation of kids are going to have a much easier Ramadan.
They're not about that real.
I started fasting when I was 5.
Yeah, about 7.
Yeah, and haven't missed a day of fasting since I was 5 years old.
I used to cheat though, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm sorry to say it. I would go to 7-Eleven. Yeah, nachos.
Yusuf. Voila.
They was calling my name, man.
Bro.
Yeah, I used to, you know, come and then I eat stuff and then come around, wipe my mouth and just.
Yusuf, you were wiping your mouth coming in here.
That's,
this dude had donut powder on his lips walking into. He was like, he comes in with this box of Dunkin' Donuts, and you literally got donut powder on your lips, and I'm like, bro, we can see it.
But my integrity, because the box was full, I didn't eat without you guys.
Ah, I see. Okay, so you justifying it, right? Yeah. Okay. No, alhamdulillah, I never cheated because I was honestly just scared of what my mom or dad would do, and we lived in a small town, and all my brothers would tell on you. So if one of us was eating, someone's gonna get beat, you know.
Yeah, the problem was playing like full football, like flag football while fasting. So.
Man, you know what? This week we're gonna talk about how football played a role in my life.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a big one. But actually, we're gonna do it at our 5-year anniversary.
Nice,
so I'm gonna share that story.
Nice. All right. So the outlier. This is, you know, everything seems to be principled, seems to be orderly. The last one, fun.
Yeah.
Just comes out of nowhere. So let's talk about fun.
Yeah, fun is important. Fun, you deserve it. Fun, once you've taken care of your faith, your family, your friends, your finance, and your fitness, you need to have fun. You deserve to have fun. But guess what is really, really fun?
What's that?
Being faithful, having fantastic friends and family, having your finances in order, being able to basically travel the world at any time to make others happy and be able to donate and share things with people that they would have never had the opportunity to do. Winning is fun.
Yeah.
Winning is more fun than fun is fun. Competing is fun.
Bars.
You know what I mean? This is fun. But this fun is also the category for your acquaintances.
Yes.
You need a little bit of bullshit.
So how do you qualify fun? What is fun for the CEO lawyer?
Man, I love to travel, bro. I love to travel.
Yeah.
I love to meet new people. I love to eat different foods. You know, I love exclusive experiences. My fun is experiences, not in buying things, you know?
Break that down. What are some experiences exclusive experiences, if you will?
Man, if you haven't done the hot air balloons in Turkey or Greece, that's an experience. If you haven't gone sand duning and, you know, drinking tea with Bedouins in West or East Africa or in the deserts of Dubai, you haven't experienced, you know. If you haven't done something where you could have potentially died.
Oh, man. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And in so doing, you realize that you actually lived.
Ooh. Hold on, Socrates.
You
Take
haven't
it easy.
lived. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
you
on.
know, true life. True life is experiencing near-death experiences.
Says the PI lawyer.
So, no, I'll tell you one great. So, like, man, one of the most fun things I used to do was figure out how to travel the world and spend as little money as possible.
Yeah.
So I was staying in Airbnbs in South Africa for $20 a night. I was taking me and a couple of my friends, we'd fly down to Jamaica and just basically go all over the island. That's where I met the Olympic trainer. Did I put that in my book?
No, I didn't read that.
Read that part?
No.
When we went to Jamaica, we went to this park, and so me and a couple of my friends decided to go down to Jamaica, and we found this park in Kingston. It was in the middle of the night, and we saw these people playing ping pong. So I went up there and said, hey, man, I'd like to play. Obviously, I didn't have my own paddle. I'm on vacation. So they gave me the paddle, and I started playing, and I actually beat the other guy. And when I beat the other guy, this older man was starting to yell at him. Like, yo, why are you losing? Like, you have to pay attention. And he's like, no, that's not how you serve. No, that's not how you return. And I'm like, bro, what do you know?
Yeah.
So he came up, and 5 points in a row, 5 in a row, 5-0. He served 5 times. I could not return any one of those serves. And I'm like, man, you're pretty good. You should coach. And he's like, I am a coach. And I mean, like, no, you should coach like professionals. He's like, I do coach professionals. I'm like, no, I mean like Olympic level. He is, I do coach at an Olympic level. I'm the Jamaican Olympic ping pong coach.
Dang.
I'm like, and what are you doing here in the park in Kingston, you know? So that's an experience, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, I think if you have the ability to travel, always do it. You will never regret not traveling. You will never regret going to other countries. Your biggest regrets come from not doing things than from actually doing them.
So lastly, I want to reiterate and reemphasize the importance of having core principles. And even if you could share a story about what happens when you start to veer away from your core principles, how does that impact your life and how does that affect you?
I think it's very easy to hide in the shadows and pretend to be someone when you're really not. But I don't know how those people can be happy when they have to act like a different person on social media or around other people than who they really are. I genuinely try to be the same person wherever you meet me. And that's why most of the time when the first time you ever meet me, either you love me or you hate me. It's not like just a mellow, it's usually like, this guy is very straightforward. I don't know if I like it. I don't really resonate with this person. Or they say, yo, this guy is fun. I get it. We're on the same page. But I don't change, you know? I don't show like a lighter version, a more mellowed version of myself and then segue my way. It's just like, that's just who I am. I like to be the same person no matter where I am. Yeah, I'll dress up differently. Yes, I'll speak differently and use different diction and tonality with different people. My personality doesn't change. And so I feel like when you're not living your truth, you're not really being who you should be, and who you feel like you should be, that's when you're not living anymore.
Yeah, sure.
You know? And so I would rather live by these guidelines because I feel like this is that recipe for happiness and that recipe for success than to try to be someone that I'm not. And usually when I put things in the wrong order, when I'm more focused on friends than I am faith, or I'm more focused on fun than finances, and when things start getting mixed up.
Excellent, man. It's a beautiful session, man. I appreciate you sharing those things with us.
Yeah, man, this is a good story. Hey, thank you so much, Yusuf, for all those questions. Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of the CEO Lawyer Podcast, where we talk about the 6 F's to live by. I'm your host, Ali Awad, the CEO Lawyer, with my co-host,
Yusuf Kurma.
Join us next time. We're just going to keep going. And if you have any suggestions on any topics or podcast episodes that you'd like us to discuss, make sure to drop them in the comments or message us on social media at CEO Lawyer. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon.